because the rook is hanging. The rook is hanging.
But can I do rook e2 and then take queen b5? There's probably some tactic there.
Yeah, maybe he was afraid of queen a5. I'm not sure, but he decided to put his king back.
Players are down to 10 seconds. Things are heating up.
Okay, and we do have queen takes e5 and rook e1. By the way, breaking news.
Firouzja started Blitz portion of this tournament with a win. He won his game, and here what's happening. So Magnus is up a pawn.
Very, very nice. And the time, it's all about the clock suddenly.
6 seconds each. We had another result already. Anna and Nepo drew their games. And yeah, this should be a draw, but with this time control,
exactly,
anything can happen. Very easy for Fabi to not find the most accurate moves.
Oh, but he's going to queen ending, and the queen ending is
easier.
Much, much easier. A little surprised that Fabi did not play the move f2, f3. This is a slight. Okay, it's very much a draw.
But Magnus is very tricky. He's not going to give up that easy.
No, he loves to grind, and g3, making a little bit of a space.
It's hard to make any progress, though, because if he pushes another pawn, then his king will be very much exposed to all the perpetual checks.
Exactly. Queen on d4, posting up. That's a very nice move.
Fabi's doing an amazing job defending this game.
Clock times once again.
5 seconds for Magnus, 6 for Fabi at the moment. He's still thinking.
Okay.
And let's not forget, they only have 2-second increment. That's not a lot.
You don't build up time with only 2 seconds, but tossing a few checks, play queen d4, defending the pawn on f2, making sure. Well, Magnus is doing his best. He's trying to squeeze his king to the f3
Fabi just
square.
Made a move with 2 seconds. Magnus with 1 second.
No way.
He's really taking big risks.
Oh, he sure has.
But I think now we have perpetual.
Well, you can take on e3.
Take on e3, okay, so the game goes on.
For sure. Queen h. Ooh.
We just said you can't build up time. Magnus went from 1 second to 10 seconds.
He did it. Queen to g4? No. He's running away with his king.
I think theoretically, even if white loses the g3 pawn, it's still a draw. But of course, very difficult to make that draw.
Right, something that you wouldn't want to try to defend, that's for sure, with no time on the clock either.
Yeah, they both build up time, but...
Oh, by the way, queen g4 with the threat of f4.
But there's no f4.
Queen h7 mate.
Careful, Magnus.
By the way, Magnus almost missed slapping the clock there.
It's nerves at this point of the game.
King g6. And you kind of reset yourself here.
So I'm curious, if they continue to play this game for more than 50 moves, how do you claim a draw in this type of game?
Well, first of all, that's a very, very good question. And you can make a faulty claim. The claim is not allowed, then your opponent just gets some extra time on the clock. But it's a good way of knowing, what you have to do. By the way, king h3 would have walked into g4, so that was a very...
And also want to mention, all the other games have finished. Gukesh has defeated Richie Rapport, and this is the only game remaining.
Well, boy, did we pick the right one. What a marquee game this has been. Again...
difficult to make progress, though. Do you think Magnus has a chance to trick Fabi here?
Yes, because there's always this idea of sneaking the king to the g4 square, but I think Magnus should have put his queen on, I wanted to say e2, in order to play king h5 to g4.
TableBase showed up and says it's winning for black. I don't know why.
Yeah, it really...
The position looks exactly the same as before. But
wow. Okay, we won't even try to understand. These queen endings are really difficult. But there's a check, and suddenly where do you go with the king? If you go to h2, queen f2, and there goes the pawn.
But if I take on g3, do I have
crazy
stalemate?
Yes, you do. Not anymore. Queen
not
g4.
Really, queen g4. Wow.
But you had queen e8 check and queen h5.
Unbelievable. Magnus manages to
once again
trick Fabi.
Truly
We still don't know where the trick happened, but now it is Seems pretty simple.
Yes,
Not that
now-
many checks left.
Yeah, you're
Queen
running
D7.
out of checks.
King G3, and there you go.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, Magnus said it, that, Fabi and Nepo are going to have the tournaments of their lives to stop